About the criticism, and the Journal has done this as well, that if you do put something like a 200% tariff on a product, that it's only going to mean higher prices for consumers. About the criticism.
As the election season draws to a close, we're seeing both Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris engage in relentless media appearances. However, there's a stark contrast between the two. While Harris is handling her interviews with finesse, Donald Trump seems to be crumbling under the pressure. He appears fatigued, lacking the energy and focus to navigate even the most softball interviews on conservative platforms like Fox News, Newsmax, or podcast shows. Despite these being generally favorable platforms for him, Trump is constantly stumbling, making mistakes, and ultimately embarrassing himself in front of the nation. His performances, chaotic and disorganized, have become a common occurrence as he continues to make unfounded claims and contradict himself. It's particularly evident when he interacts with interviewers who aren't there to coddle him, leading to disastrous moments when fact-checking occurs. One such incident happened during an interview with Fox's Maria Bartiromo. Despite being a generally supportive interviewer, Bartiromo fact-checked Trump on his claims, throwing him off balance. Trump is so used to being handheld through these interviews that when confronted with basic truth checks, he doesn't know how to respond. He becomes defensive and frustrated, a clear indication of his inability to handle anything outside his carefully constructed narrative. Before we dive into the specifics of that interview, let me quickly remind you to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Your support means everything, and it helps us continue bringing you these important discussions. Let's jump into the interview. Trump, as expected, launched into his usual tirades about enemies within and radical leftists, but his responses lack substance. He even suggested that if necessary, the National Guard or military should be involved to manage this situation on election day. These types of authoritarian remarks, coupled with his anger, should alarm us all. They reveal a desire for absolute control and a disregard for democratic processes. This isn't just about targeting political opponents. Trump's authoritarian instincts also extend to his plans for government. In another shocking moment, he hinted at giving Elon Musk a role in his administration, not in a traditional capacity, but as a cost cutter. Trump praised Musk's business acumen. But what's really behind this move is a desire to dismantle government institutions that don't serve his interests. What's frightening is that Trump and Musk, two of the most self-serving figures in the public eye, are united in their disdain for democratic norms. They don't want to cut government waste. They want to tear the system apart for the benefit of themselves and their wealthy allies. Another concerning point is how Trump continues to cast doubt on the upcoming election. In one clip, he expressed skepticism about whether votes would be fairly counted, recycling discredited claims about voter fraud. While this might seem like typical rhetoric, it's dangerous. His goal is to undermine trust in our democratic process, setting the stage for another round of baseless accusations if he loses. Now, let's talk about his economic proposals. During the interview, Bartiromo challenged him on the feasibility of his plans, specifically mentioning how his proposed tax cuts would add an estimated $7.5 trillion to the national debt, more than Kamala Harris's proposals. Trump's response was evasive, as he tried to justify his tariff plans and claimed they would protect American jobs. However, independent economists have criticized these ideas, noting that they would drive up prices for consumers without actually benefiting the economy. Maria pressed him further, pointing out that these policies would harm American businesses, not help them. Trump's inability to engage with the facts showed just how disconnected he is from the real-world consequences of his proposals. Finally, in a somewhat comical but telling moment, Trump exaggerated the size of the crowd at one of his recent rallies, claiming 101,000 people attended when the actual number was closer to 20,000. Is a small but revealing detail that highlights his continued reliance on hyperbole and distortion. These ongoing blunders, misstatements, and authoritarian tendencies are alarming. As we approach the election, it's more critical than ever to call out these behaviors and ensure we're all paying attention to the facts. If you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around. Please don't forget to like, comment with a blue heart, and subscribe for more content. Together, we can keep holding those in power accountable.